What's going on? What's going on? Wait for everybody to come through from Fred. What's going on? What's going on, man? Salute to everybody coming through. Salute. My baby brother, man, salute. What's happening? Dave the Real Thomas, salute. Birdman, salute. How y'all feeling? It's good to be back it's good to be back with y'all, man. You feel me? Today's episode, man, we're gonna talk about women and boxing. You know what I'm saying? CS, what's up with it, man? How you feel? So we talking about how people at the height of their careers fell off because of women. And so we're gonna kind of go through the Mike Tysons of the world, the Victor Ortizes of the world, Mayweathers. We're gonna pretty much go through their lives when it comes to women and how how that goes. Cintos, what's up with it, man? Salute to you too, brother. Salute to you. So we'll probably start off with Mike Tyson. At the height of his career, man, I mean, the world champion. You know what I'm saying? And guy with Robin Givens, man, and everything went downhill after that. You know what I'm saying? He had everything, man. He had everything. Between her and Don King, they kind of just messed him over. It was crazy. Metrics, what's up with it, bro? How you feel? It's crazy because most of the time, man, women will do that, bro. If you're not with it or ready to go, if you're not on top of your game, women come in there and they take you all the way out your game. You know what I'm saying? Most wars were over women. So that's just the facts of the matter. Let me put this in the chat real quick. Let me put this B man in the chat real fast. DB man, hop on, man. I gotta argue with you real quick, man, because I did bring you up during the whole Don King thing. I for sure did, because I made reference to you first. So we got to go back and watch the video. And then you got Mayweather, man, lost a year of his career due to domestic violence. Um, you know what I'm saying? We talked about a fighter yesterday, man. Killed him, killed himself, he killed his wife, then killed himself. So a lot of times, man, women can press these buttons that no man can press. You know what I'm saying? Women have that power. You know what I'm saying? And the fighters, most of the time, they always fall. You know what I'm saying? Due to women. Um, and it's crazy because they got the most brutal and vicious sport, and they kind of fall victim to females every time. And it's kind of crazy that it goes down like that. Um, so now we get to Mayweather, right? Mayweather, he at the height of his career. I mean, he's the best fighter that ever lived. You know what I'm saying? And then he had his situation where he had to retire from the game. Hustle Simpson, little brother, he had to leave the game because of the situation. You know what I'm saying? And it's crazy that for him to be that high on the pedestal, have so many women at his feet, that he goes that route, man, in front of his kids. It's like, it's crazy. And the thing about it is, you just never know what people are going through. You never know what the situation is or what the situation can be. And that's kind of what we're dealing with tonight, man. We're just gonna wait for everybody to come through from Fred. Uh, wait for some people to beam in, and we're gonna get the conversation going. Um, feel free to beam in, man. I put it in the chat. I believe I put it in the chat. Hold on. Let me try this one more time. For sure, for sure. Yeah, man. I want to know y'all thoughts about the situation and stuff like that. Deacon 305. Salute, man, to the OG in the building, man. Stand up with us tonight. Appreciate you, big dog. Appreciate you. Um, yeah, man, dude. I'm just enjoying it, man. Robert Brown, salute to you. Appreciate you, man. Appreciate you, man, for falling through, coming to mess with us, man. Appreciate you. Uh, so yeah, man. Women have, and then the thing about it too is, then sometimes they falsely accuse people of rape, like the situation with Victor Ortiz. He all charges were dropped. You know what I'm saying? He got falsely accused of rape, and there's really no backlash from it. You know, you can say that this guy did this or did that, and you kind of stuck. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of like you don't have nowhere else to maneuver around to. It's always the Me Too movement. It's always, yeah, you did that. He did that for sure. And you can't really, if you're not focused, then you're in trouble when it comes to women, man. You know what I'm saying? Samson. You know what I'm saying? I don't know how biblical y'all is. I don't know how much y'all read the Bible or y'all in the church or whatever, what have you. But same thing with him and David. You know what I'm saying? Like the men, they had a purpose, they had a calling, and boom, messed it up because of the woman, man. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy because that's how they infiltrate most situations. You know what I'm saying? Is through females. But yeah, man, y'all feel free to hop on, man, and let me hear y'all perspective of the matter. And I want to know, man, who y'all think had the worst of it, man. I'm probably gonna go with Mike Tyson because he lost so many years of his career. He was never the same mentally. He didn't have that same dog in him when he got out of jail. He could fight, but he never had that same dog. He was never that same guy. You know what I'm saying? After that situation, and it was the good thing. Big Red was had it, baby. Beam in whenever you feel like it. Um, Mayweather was able to stay focused and continue to climb up. You know what I'm saying? The ladder of success as far as being a great boxer. But most people, shit, they didn't. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, one nigga he killed his girl and himself. You know what I'm saying? And that's how it plays out, bro. For the most part. And trying to trying to figure out who's with you and who's not. That's why it's always best to kind of have your situation before you come into the money. You know what I'm saying? Because and it's kind of like, hey, let me just be loyal to this one woman because you just never know what's out there, bro. You know what I'm saying? Somebody always trying to get some money. Somebody always trying to run a play. Somebody always trying to get their bag up, and we fall victim to it. So my son broke my other phone, man. So it's gonna be hard for me to rent y'all up today. It's gonna be hard for me to go back and forth and comment with y'all like that because I don't have my other phone with me. But shit, we here tonight, man. We here, and we live. So let me hear y'all thoughts in the comment section, man. I ain't heard y'all say nothing. Okay, we got Rob Brown. If women got the same time, yeah, for falsely accusing a man for being convicted for rape, that BS would stop. No, for sure it would stop. For sure it would stop because there's a consequence. You know what I'm saying? There's repercussions. You know what I'm saying? You feel what I'm saying? It's like now we can't just say whatever we want to say. You feel what I'm saying? It's like us being it's like Nick Cannon. You know what I'm saying? He couldn't say what he wanted to say about them folks at Viacom, the Jews. He couldn't say whatever the fuck he wanted to say. You feel what I'm saying? So that's the same situation. If you have to be held accountable for the situation, then most times you're not gonna just go off the handle and just do whatever and say whatever. But women for so long have had that power to say, "Oh, he raped me," even without a rape kit, even without uh, significant evidence. The guy's name was smeared and slandered. You know what I'm saying? And that that in itself is one reason why I always say, man, like before you have a baby, get married. You know what I'm saying? Because and then before you get that level of success, get married. Because most of the time, man, the woman that been riding with you from the beginning is gonna be the one that ride with you to the end. And most of the times, man, with the boxers, they kind of fuck it off. You know what I'm saying? Even if you have a million girls, one woman can fuck it off. You know what I'm saying? And that's the situation. That's the thing. But what's crazy was, man, when I did some research on the Mike Tyson situation, his old manager, she said she's surprised that more women, I don't know if it's a man or woman, but it was a manager. They were surprised that he didn't have more cases like this because of how socially awkward he was when it came to women and it came to sex. So that's kind of why we choose Mike Tyson in this particular instance. But we don't know how true it is. He says it's false, so it's all alleged. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, man, I appreciate y'all coming through here and showing some love, man. Yeah, even Muhammad Ali, when it came to women, man, he had hella wives. You know what I'm saying? It's like when boxers and women go like hand in hand. You know what I'm saying? You can't have one without the other. As far as like in abundance, you know what I'm saying? The only person that you can think of that was like on that straight and narrow was Larry Holmes. You know what I'm saying? Because Evander Holyfield, man, he got more kids than the Waynes. You know what I'm saying? He got so many different situations going on. He lost, you know what I'm saying? That's how he ended up having to sell his house to Rick Ross. That child support. So that's a big thing. That's really a big thing. You know what I'm saying? Teddy Atlas put a gun to Mike Tyson's head over his knee. Yeah, that's a fact. And he wasn't playing either. Shit, he was for sure serious. So tell me your thoughts, like, uh, as far as tell me your thoughts about the certain boxers that y'all kind of did research on and kind of know about because I don't know about everybody. P Good, what's up, man? What's happening with you? My career was almost over before. No, that's a fact. That's a fact. Marvin Rollins, salute, man. Salute to you, brother. Appreciate you coming through. Now, there's a big thing going on in boxing right now, man. I know y'all want to talk about it. How do y'all feel about this Teofimo Lopez situation? Real story, I had to disconnect Evander Holyfield for not paying the power bill, all because of the child support. Yeah, that's man. Listen, and bruh, to have to sell that house that he sold to Rick Ross. You know what I'm saying? The only foul part about that though, really, was all the money that he was giving to Creflo Dollar in that church, and they didn't even really help him like that. That was hella fucked up. That's why it's hard for us to trust people. You know what I'm saying? When you gave so much to this man, and on your time of need, when everything fell through, you couldn't even depend on the man of faith. You know what I'm saying? You didn't help him get the jet. You didn't help him get the Bentleys, the Rolls Royce. You know what I'm saying? And then when you was down to your dick, he just bounced. He just cut. You know what I'm saying? But oh no, we can't help you out, dog. You know what I'm saying? That's kind of foul. When you could help that man out. Andrew Charles, salute, brother. Salute to you, man. Appreciate you sliding through here. Um, yeah, Yeah, I feel it. You know what I'm saying? I hate it, man. T.O. let us down. Oh, for sure. Hey, listen. Uh, Birdman got a nice point. He said, I hate it, man. T.O. let us down when he didn't keep his word on national TV and continue to lie. Can't support him at the same. But he actually told you the truth too, though. He told you he wasn't fighting Devin Haney. He came out and said it when Mark Kriegel asked him at that fight. He said, I ain't fighting him. He got to do more. You know what I'm saying? He said he got to do more. So I knew that fight wasn't going down. I already knew that. I already knew it wasn't going down. Cento Boxing says the T.O. situation is good for fighters. Team T.O. have flipped the game. No, that's a fact. I agree with that sentiment fully because I think it's great for boxing. I think it's going to force promoters' hand to make the fights happen because if not, it's easy for the people to kind of move around him now. With Triller doing what they did, it gives the fighters credence to do what they kind of want to do for real. You know what I'm saying? Because if I got a belt and it goes to a purse bid over the mandatory situation, you can mess around and have a great mandatory. You know what I'm saying? You can mess around and somebody drop their belt just to be the mandatory, just so it can go to a purse bid, just so somebody can put that bag on top of it. You feel what I'm saying? And I'm surprised that Eddie Hearn bid on the fight. I didn't think he was going to bid on it, and hell, Bob Arum didn't think he was going to bid on it. But he'd have lost that bid anyway, man. I mean, $2 million really wasn't going to get you what you needed to get. Shout out to my boy Reggie Owens, man, hopping on. Big Reg, what's happening, baby?
Oh man, chilling. What's happening?
I can barely hear you. I don't know if that's me or you. That might have been me. Say something else.
Yeah. No, I'm chilling. No, I had that other tab open. That's what it was.
Okay, for sure. Um, so so tonight's topic we're talking about the downfall of men in boxing. Most times is the women. Um, who do you think had the worst of it? I know we talked about the guy last night. I can't think of that dude's name. I think it was like Ed or something like that.
Oh yeah, Edwin. Damn, what's that crazy food name? Edwin. I think his name Rosario.
Nigga from what he's from? No, not Chile, but he was from where's the nigga from?
Somebody said Venezuela. I think it was.
Venezuela. Yeah. I think he got the worst of it because that nigga killed himself and his girl. You know what I'm saying? Mike Tyson just spent some time in the pen. But what you got on that topic though?
Yeah, I think it points back to what me and DB was talking about yesterday when we was on here. It's just dealing with how fools can handle dealing with women, and that's the aspect that's really Valero, Edwin Valero. That's what it was.
Yeah.
But it's really based on how a young man is groomed to dealing with women. There's a lot of dudes who fall in love with a woman and they immediately think they possess that woman, like no one else can have you. And that's when that sucker shit can occur. When you're dealing with some people who love women, fall in love with a woman very hard and hard to let her go. Some people would trip on a woman if a dude look at them. That's them women who got to look straight and with their heads down. There's a lot of fools who deal with them insecurities, especially when you're dealing with people who come from a realm where they used to acting violently against stuff, in situations, but they take it out on their women. So it's people who love hard, don't want no one else to have that woman, and ultimately that's what you're seeing with this fool. And it was another dude, Carlos Monzon. I don't know if he was like that, but he just had an abusive streak towards women. He ended up killing the chick. But there's a lot of fools, especially a lot of. I'm sorry to say, but a lot of my SA homies, they be like that with their women and shit. They put a tight restraint on the women. I don't know if it's first time getting a pussy and that shit just changes their minds, but it's people wanting to possess a woman and as if they own her. My mindset is that's someone else's child. You don't own their one of these chicks. And shit, you save yourself a lot of stress if you're dealing with a chick who ain't loyal. You got to go about correcting shit, worrying about her flirting, doing this other shit. You best to let her go do her shit. Let her spread her wings, get the fuck away from you. But a lot of these cats, they can't deal with it. They get one because a lot of men used to getting at women and shit. Like I said, they've been in these sports. That's been their focus. They never had to spit game, get at a chick. A lot of chicks gravitate towards what they doing based on, the economics that may be behind it and what they can secure for themselves by attaching themselves to these type of athletes. And the minute shit don't go right, they find out that these, the love from these chicks wasn't what they've been giving out in the relationship, and they act a certain way. But yeah, that's my thoughts on a lot of athletes just suckers to begin with. And a lot of times they deal with a chick with a lot of game who, when they find out it ain't real, they react like a motherfucker. And just like City Slick say, same thing with Marcus Brown. He been tripping on his baby moms and all that shit.
Yeah, I mean, it's shit. And it's crazy, man, because you would think when they get to a certain level that not all the second ship leave, but as far as like the way you approach women changes. You know what I'm saying? Like, this shit is crazy to me because it's like, I ain't broke, but I ain't rich neither. But I could talk to a woman, I can have a conversation with a woman, and I kind of know that, she ain't mine. But I think it's the Oakland or the California in us though. You know what I'm saying? To say freer. You know what I'm saying?
Shit, we got suckers out here too.
No, but I'm saying the overall message though. You feel me? When you growing up,
right.
The overall message out here is to get as much as you can from the girl and then leave her alone. Or, you know what I'm saying? Don't let her see you sweat or have multiple females. You know what I'm saying? That's kind of how the Bay Area in LA, you know what I'm saying? SAC, whatever. That's kind of how we're wired. I lived in North Carolina and that shit was different than out here. You see what I'm saying? Like, niggas was willing to kill and die over the brawl. You know what I'm saying? We're not really used to that out here. We used to saying freer, you know what I'm saying? She chose up, you can have it. You know what I'm saying? Out there, that ain't going down. They willing to kill and die for the pussy. You know what I'm saying? And I'm just not willing to kill and die for the pussy. You know what I'm saying? If it's like that, then it's like that. You know what I'm saying? But I'm not gonna lose my freedom over the pussy. I mean, you feel what I'm saying, though, Rich?
Yeah, no, I feel you, man. I be laughing at fools that be doing that shit, man. Because the minute these fools go get locked away, she out there doing what she's doing anyway.
Yeah.
And you stuck and gone chasing after me. I'll never forget when I lived in Long Beach. And I'm out there, I used to always kicking in front of my front yard and shit. And this thick ass chick walking by the house and shit. Thick to the motherfucker, big ass double, whatever bigger than a D. Her shit bigger than a D. She just portion well than a motherfucker. And I don't know what she was going through. And but I used to always see her in the neighborhood, and we be flirting and shit every time I see her. She passed through. She see females come to my house, and a lot of crazy shit about it. Some chicks used to be attracted by that shit. Oh, this is a motherfucker. I don't know what's the idiotic attraction behind that shit, but I used to get a lot of chicks used to be attracted to me, seeing me with a lot of broads and shit. So one day, I don't know if this chick was getting into it or dude, but she just one day she walked by. I bring her up in the house and shit. And not lo and behold, her dude was way up the road. He seen where she go. This motherfucker come knocking at the door. He came respectable, but when the chick walk out, she all shook, like she ready to get down with the get down, like just on. And just dragged her out the house. I ain't never seen that chick ever since that shit. But it was just showing like how some motherfuckers will chase after foul ass chicks like this who will get down so easy and shit. But it's like I said, with her, she been, we saying shit for like months and months, not knowing she in a relationship till I see this shit. And it's a relationship that's probably volatile and shit. But some people hold on to shit that ain't worthy. And it could be the opposite. Women may have the same stories when they tell their shit that is dudes who do the same shit with them. But the the attraction that people have to where they can't get over someone, that shit can become volatile. And then some people deal in relationships to where they deal with folks who push them to the fucking edge, who push them buttons and shit, who try to deliberately do shit to cause you to erupt on it. You end up in some Ray Rice type situations, Chris Brown situations, shit like that, to where when you're dealing with someone who's hostile towards you, who don't know who's I've always been told when you're dealing with a chick who gets out of line, like raising her voice, confrontational shit, that's a chick you don't need to be bothered with. I've been taught that since I've been a kid. That's why I let relationships go like a motherfucker. As easy as the wind blow, that's how easy I let relationships go. Like, we ain't about to do all this arguing shit. I don't do that arguing type shit. That shit is for fighting. Most of you don't get out of me is a few words, and then we gotta get to swinging and shit. But a relationship, I'm about to do that shit. I'm about to go to jail over putting hands on no broad that I'm fucking with. Like, you getting to this point where you trying to push my buttons, you gotta go. And that's the same thing many athletes, if they could have controlled that shit, learn to let that shit go, or maybe get time away from each other. Ray Rice is still being in the NFL. Many of these other cats will probably not be in jail from putting their hands on their women from popping off at the mouth, because you get a lot of women who have never learned to respect a dude. They probably listen to aunties and mothers talk very ill of dudes. And the first time I ever seen somebody get knocked out was a girl, because this is around the time when we in elementary. My homeboy knocked out one of the homegirls. We like in the second and third grade, and it's around the time where, boys get taught, oh, you're not supposed to put your hands on girls. You're a punk if you hit a girl. So some girls will push the limit of smacking dudes, pushing them, doing all this other shit, because the thought is you can't do nothing back to them. And she'll do this shit to the homie every day. And she's a little ass girl. She reminded me of Floyd Mayweather's fucking daughter. Her name was Asia. She reminds me of Floyd Mayweather's fucking daughter. And she's popping off at the mouth all the time. And one day we in line, this motherfucker, I guess he's tired of being embarrassed by her, because she'd smack him, talk about his clothes, talking about he's smelly and this and that, because his mother was like a crackhead and shit. And this motherfucker, at the days and days of dealing with this chick every morning doing this shit, he turned around and knocked her the fuck out. And when I'm talking about knocked, I'm talking about elementary school. First time I ever seen somebody get knocked out was that girl. But yeah, some people drive you crazy and shit.
Hey, listen, I love my wife dearly. That is my heart. But at the end of the day, I'm not finna be in jail. You know what I'm saying? Waking up, sharing showers with niggas, you know what I'm saying, over a bad decision that I've made. You know what I'm saying? I can't control what she do, but I can control what I do. Now, just imagine, though, Reg, that situation that you was in. Imagine if that nigga was a no-nonsense, crazy nigga. I'm ready to die for this, bro. Came to your house, kicked the door down, and was on some shit. You know what I'm saying? Imagine that. Like, people don't think about what kind of situation they put other people in. You know what I'm saying? When they do some shit like that. It was that could have went bad. Hold on real quick. Josh Brown, salute to you, brother. On the mic with Terrence Bailey, salute to you too, brother. But go ahead, Reg.
No, you're absolutely right. That shit could have turned bad. It could have turned bad in the motherfuckers. But he came off, he wasn't even tripping, because he looking at, I don't know why he did motherfucking trip. I thought we would have been throwing blows, but he kept it player. He knew it was his chick. She been choosing up. She been unfaithful. But he was one of these chicks who, she looked a certain way. She built a certain, when I say this chick was bad, she's bad in the motherfucker. Thick, body put together, nice in the motherfucker, face nice. And he probably was in love with her, but chasing after her. Like, this chick don't love you, fool. What are you chasing after her like that for? You walking down the street, and what he was doing was, I guess they got into it. She walked away from the house. I don't know if she had other family that lived in the neighborhood where I was at. She's heading over that way. So I guess this fool following up after her. They probably had an argument. She walk out. She got dressed up and all that shit. And he following up after her and shit. So that's what the situation was. But you see people chasing after shit that should be done with. Otherwise, it leads you into some of the wrong shit. Like when I lived in Long Beach, man, I used to see some of the most way out shit. And this me fucking with chicks who were in relationships. Not off top knowing they in relationships, but when the bitch is fucking around, then it come out they in relationships and shit. But it's just like, you just see the disloyalty in people, and even people who can be in committed relationships. The minute some shit go bad, man, these chicks be out here running, fucking around. It's some way out shit. So it's hard to like find. I refuse to get to that point to where I'm about to be tripping over somebody because the minute shit go bad, you're gonna be out here running and doing whatever the fuck you was trying to do anyway. Because a lot of times females will get in this mindset, well, I done wasted all these times. I could have been out here doing this and that. And the shit, you gonna get out there and do that. Go ahead. But it's relationships is a hard balance. So why you hear old people who've been in 20, 30, 40, 50, 60-year relationships, and they all talk about it's some hard shit because everybody deals with being unfaithful to one another, verbally abusive, some physically abusive and shit. But you get to the point where you just cuss people out. And I just get in relationships where I have to cuss at a motherfucker. It's just like, it's not worth it. You do little irritable type shit like, nah, we got to end this shit before shit get bad. But it was a funny thing, like when they were talking about, even with like we talking about celebrities, like with Chris Brown. The funny thing before his incident with that Rihanna shit popped off, it was Big Boy in the morning. I used to listen to that shit in the morning. This is a few days before that shit happened, or it might have been a day or two, because right around the times they rehearsing for whatever show that it was supposed to go on an award show or something, and he didn't make it because he was arrested. But during the rehearsals, that they was talking about like Rihanna, they was talking about how crazy this girl is. She's super possessive. She confrontational. She's getting into it with Chris Brown and doing all this other shit. Then a few days later is when they come out like he done punched her and shit. But they were like, you deal with some women who are very possessive and controlling and shit, and it leads to a motherfucker with the breaking point. Like, I don't know, this shit, relationship balances is just some way out shit. And a lot of times we don't want to fuck with square chicks. We like fucking with these hostile, loudmouth, volatile chicks because sometimes they fun and shit. They fun to fuck with. Yeah, go ahead.
Crazy Will got the best pussy, man. You know that.
Wait, say that again?
You know Crazy got the best pussy, bro. You know that.
Oh, hell yeah, they do. Because that's the way they get out their frustrations. It's through fucking. So they master that shit.
Hustler Slim, what's going on, player? He says, I have never beat a female ass. I was in a relationship and I don't condone it. But after seeing some of the situations my dudes went through, I understand. Dominic Wade had a maniac case. I remember hearing about after he got KO'd by Triple G. I think on the boxing scene, and he got a rape charge. Damn, not too long ago. God damn. Shout out to Hustler Slim. Shout out to my boy from the city, man. San Francisco City Slicker. On them two sentiments. Yeah, man. I mean, the shit is crazy, man. I mean, just think though, Reg. Imagine being in a relationship with a woman, right? And she beat your ass, and then she called the cops and said, hey, he put his hands on me, and you going to jail, bro. It ain't even no ins, ands, and buts about it, bro. It's about who get that phone first. And if she get that phone first, that's your ass, man. That's why I'm so glad, bro. I think I only wanted to beat a girl up, like as far as being in a relationship, once, bro. One time. And I was like, bro, I can't deal with nothing close to this ever again. You know what I'm saying? And the shit be so close, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you be so, because, nigga, this is the thing. Women, they are the only ones that can press your buttons the way they press your buttons. No man can press your buttons the way these women can. These women can pull some shit out of you that your worst enemy can't pull out of you, bro. And that's probably what makes it worse, is because they know everything about you, and it's like, motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? So tell me about a situation where you was close to it, and you was like, man, I got the cut.
Man, motherfuckers got to master the art of shaking the fuck out of a bitch. Shake the motherfuckers the fuck up. But no, I had a situation, even with me, I just be feeling like I ain't gonna swing on the chick. I think I hit too hard back then to fucking be swinging on the chick. So my thing was, I hem they fucking ass up and shake them the fuck up. But I had my old chick, she was my ex chick, but she always used to want me around and shit. Cause back then I used to have one of her one of her cars and shit. I was driving one of her cars for, man, we weren't even together. She just dug me like that. And when we went out to her family's having a function somewhere up in like the Pasadena little hill alley. Matter of fact, it was over there. Her people had money. They lived over there by the Tia and Tamara twins and shit. So we up in there, they doing a little concert in the backyard. We chilling and shit. And while we there, she kept calling me baby and shit. And I used to tell her, like, my name Reggie. I ain't your baby, like shit, cause we ain't together and shit. But so when we go back, we getting dropped off and shit. We go back to her house where I parked the car and shit. And I'm leaving. She get the tripping and shit. And it's late at night, it's like 2 in the fucking morning. Shit, she emotion kick up out of her. She ready to get active. She like, fuck that. I'm about to beat this motherfucker up. So she used to hate that I'll be nonchalant about shit. Like I didn't give a fuck. Like, yeah, whatever, okay. Cause my shit, I ain't about to argue with you. Like, get the fuck out of here. Like shit, well, just take me back to the crib and shit. Leave it at that. And she like, oh, I can't stand you all the she like all to just punch you, like all the fucking just she talking all that big shit, like all to fuck you up. I say, yeah, I'm looking up in the air, like, yeah, doing all this shit, yeah, whatever. Next thing you know, my fucking eye go fucking blank. Like, what the fuck? She took off on me, man. She took off on me, punched me dead in my fucking eye. I can't see. I think she knocked my eyeball out the socket and shit. Like, man, she put all them emotions that she had in the swinging on my ass and fucking she get the taking off on me and I can't see. I'm feeling for her ass. And I grab her, I just start shaking the fuck out of her and shit. Like, you motherfucker. And while I'm shaking her, she bite the fuck out of me. That's how much anger she had in her. But to hit her was like, nah, I ain't gonna do that shit. Or a lot of times when chicks be like, because I be like kicked back and they don't be thinking I'm the be tripping like that. The minute I flip on the bitch and go off on them, man, they turn all that shit all the way down because they be like, damn, this motherfucker go from he always smiling and shit, he cool, and now them pissing the fuck off. Like, a bitch, get the fuck out of here. And I'll treat a bitch like I don't know her and shit. That's always been any chick who ever fuck with me have always had issue with that. Like, I can, if I'm with my chick and she do some old fuck shit, she can be in the same house as me. I'm gonna treat her like I don't know her. I'm gonna ignore her, act like she ain't there, and that shit fucked them up. And a lot of times they had to get over. But you deal with so many chicks that have where we come from, so many people just full of pain and haven't been, fixed right. Not even from us, because you deal with that with wealthy chicks too. You fuck with some of them chicks who come up out of, especially like in LA, you deal with them old rich white girls who like fucking with black folks from the hood and shit. A lot of them be fucked up in their head too. It's just the American thing. America hasn't taught people how to be balanced, what they call like nuclear family. A lot of people ain't family building. A lot of people ain't relationship building in this country. So I can't even just say it's on black people, period, because you see that shit, like I say, with these wealthy ass white folks who ain't no fucking better, ain't no different. If anything, they probably worse. And a lot of times they easy than a motherfucker, but they all fucked up in the head. I think it's just an American thing. People just don't know how to love. People don't know how to accept positions and roles. Everybody wants to have the position, the hierarchy and shit. And that's why a lot of that shit fell. A lot of people just want to be the domineering figure in a relationship. And a lot of women don't know how to play the position of letting a man be a man. They just want to be either ahead of you or right on the side of you. And they also want you to be on some yes to everything. And that shit just doesn't work. And I think that's why it doesn't balance in a lot of relationships. And that's an American situation.
No, for sure. Mo Boxing, salute to you, family. Yeah, bro. Like, I always tell niggas, like, bro, it's a partnership, not a dictatorship, bro. Like, I was in Philly, and the nigga, like, man, I said, we was, doing documentary. So we filming a documentary. He like, man, I gotta go. My girl. I'm like, hey, man, nigga, we doing a documentary right now, bro. You gotta just wait. He said, man, what you doing? Your girl say, come on. I'm like, nigga, what? I said, bro, nigga, we have a conversation and I keep doing what I'm doing. He like, man, I don't know, man. My girl, this and that. I'm like, bro, you gotta tell her, nigga, this is a partnership, not a dictatorship, bro. Like, that's the problem with relationships, man. Everybody think they in charge of some goddamn body, bro. And it's like, dude, we're in this together. You know what I'm saying? This ain't you owning me and me running you. Like, this is us working together as a complete unit. That's what's wrong with us as a society. I can't speak for the white folks or the Mexican folks or the Asian folks. I can only speak about us. You know what I'm saying? I think that our problem is, bro, that women are held to such a high standard and they expect men to keep them on that pedestal with no ramifications. Nothing you could do, nothing you can't say anything, you can't correct this or correct that, you can't say this or that. Everything is a problem. And that's why I'm glad like the relationship that I'm in, it's a partnership, bro. Like we have our disagreements, yeah, everybody does, but the respect is always there, and that's where it has to be. The respect always has to be there, and in all relationships. And that's the thing about like if we go back to the athletes, to the boxers, they don't have the respect for the women. You know what I'm saying? They think that, oh yeah, this is my property. You know what I'm saying? I make $1,000,000, she belongs to me. If I pay for this bag or if I buy her these shoes, this is mine. She my property now. And that just ain't the case. Shout out to my boy Dave Jack in the building. Salute to you, baby. And that be the problem though, man. They think like since they bought you something that they own the broad. You know what I'm saying? Like, nah, she ain't your property. You know what I'm saying? This is a partnership. And let's set ground rules. See, that's the problem. Nobody sets ground rules when they first start getting down. They just start getting down. You know what I'm saying? And that is the issue that we're having with our athletes. What you got, Reg?
Yeah, no, you're absolutely right. But I don't think a lot of people, man, aren't taught, man. Salute to my brother Dave Jack, man. A lot of people just ain't taught on how to deal with this stuff. And even when you listen to families, I done been around. I don't. That's why I don't like meeting a lot of people's families. Like when I'm fucking with a chick or whatnot, to be visiting her families, because you hear a lot of ill shit that comes up from aunties, uncles, and other motherfuckers, and the expectations and shit. And you deal with a lot of women, man. I didn't hear a lot of these grandmothers and aunties and all this with this bullshit who speak of almost like in the terms of being like hoes and shit. What is he doing for you? What is he paying for? And this and that. And why he ain't taking care of this? Da 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 da. Like the man's supposed to do everything, but you deal with a lot. That's why you see so much hoe culture within a lot of these women. They get taught this shit. This ain't nothing new. I don't listen to old school cats who talk about during their times in the 50s and 60s and about how women was out there hoeing and this and that. That was the way. Matter of fact, we get the pimp era and shit comes from that time. But a lot of these women have turned themselves to where they're gonna get the benefits of what every man want from them. And a lot of times every man just don't want to fuck a chick. Some dudes really, really love a chick, but her love comes from what can you buy her? What for you to love her, how much does it's going to cost you something? And that's the most ass backwards sense of it. And that's why I've always been to where I've never been into trying to fall in love with a chick. My thoughts ain't about marriage. I don't want to even talk about no marriage shit. Like if we then held it down and then, thugged it out for multiple years, we done hustle, we done put shit together. We got to earn each other's trust. I ain't rushing into no marriage shit. A lot of people come off top talking that shit about they meeting somebody and always talking about plans. No, we just going to be our individual selves and we're going to see how we communicate as we move down the road authentically without trying to see how you gonna benefit this. But now that I got kids and I with my kids' mom like that, we cool and shit, but ain't no relationships for me. It's just doing my shit. If I get a chick who we can be cool with, what they say, like a companion, a chick you just vibe with, but she must know my fucking purpose in life is to make sure my kids is good. I don't want to be you hook up in a new relationship and the first thing I kick the motherfucking bucket. Everything she thinks is supposed to go to her. Like, what the fuck I'm gonna do about my kids? I ain't here. Like, nah, it don't pop off like that. So that's just my philosophy always been to where, like I say, a lot of times in these chats, I don't follow people. I don't follow groups, but what I do is I learn game. That's has always been what has allowed me to be successful in life. I watch people from their mistakes and I go about, damn, how do I avoid that? Whether it's in how you walk through life, how you lead through relationships. And I've seen a lot of people bump their heads, rushing into love, rushing into situations. And the thing that rush motherfucking to love is when you get when two people are fucking the shit out of each other. Good pussy will rush a motherfucker into some shit. I done rushed into relationships before of a girl who had good motherfucking pussy. But the minute she thought she can play games with me is when she found the wrong one. Because outside, I'm gonna snap up out of it and come back into some old back into some reality of shit. Like, oh no, you got the wrong motherfucker, man. Like, but I don't know. It's just a weird balance of figuring that. That's probably one of the most complex things in life. But even like what Fred be talking about on his show, and I'm like big on that shit too, where I don't buy into labels and all this other shit. You deal with a lot of people who claim they won't do things if they don't have a ring on their finger. Like, what kind of idiotic shit is that? If you can't treat your fucking regular relationship as if it is a marriage, then that person ain't worth it. To where your behavior only changes when you think you got a ring behind it. Why? Because is that ring secure to if a motherfucker walk away, you're gonna walk away with taking his shit. And that same thing, like even listening to Steven Jackson shit, getting the chick to sign a prenup, it don't work out. You look at the situations of the fallout with Dr. Dre, all this other shit. You watch a lot of scandalous shit that goes down when people have stuck around long enough, the money looks good enough, and they ready to fuck it up. But that's my thoughts.
For sure, man. Salute to the new cast that just came in. My boy D Hodges, Phil J 508. Highly anticipated, man. Salute. Yeah, man. Hey, but check this out. It's crazy. What do most women hear when they're growing up? What they say? Wet pussy, dry purse. Don't make no sense. Don't they always say that?
Yep, they get taught whole shit early on.
Yeah, so that's kind of where it goes. And I'll be honest with you, bro. Like the way my wife was raised up, her mom like forced her to do some shit on her own. You know what I'm saying? Like my wife worked at McDonald's. You know what I'm saying? So it's like she was working hard when I met her. So it was almost like shit. I got to pick my shit up. You know what I'm saying? Like I had a good job and shit like that, but she working hard. Though we talking like she doing split shifts and all type of shit. And her work ethic, bro, and how she was like, damn, it made you want to level up. You know what I'm saying? So that's one of the things where you move into that direction. You know what I'm saying? So Red, what would you say is the benefit and what is the con of, you know what I'm saying? Because I'm married. And you know what I'm saying? I enjoy being married. But in your situation, what is your pros and what is your cons of, you know what I'm saying, the companionship? You feel me?
Shit, the pros is if y'all getting along, the fucking peace and the peace of mind you get. The cons is if you dealing with somebody you didn't fucking, because breakups are hard for people. So especially when you catch feeling, I don't care how much people talk about they don't like people, this and that. Breakups are hard for some people. And a lot of times what you see when people go through bouts of depression, substance abuse, a lot of that shit comes from fallouts from relationships. So a lot of times if some shit doesn't go right, you didn't put feelings and cares in between. I don't give a fuck how strong you are. Even a motherfucker like me who be trying to be strong with relationships, when you like somebody and shit, that shit will probably hurt you for a minute. Then you learn to get over it. Some people never get over that shit. You look at people who mope around through certain parts of the city. Some people go into homelessness over fucking crying over a woman because they didn't turn to the bottle to stop thinking about her and shit. The more they drink that shit, the more they think about her, and they fucking walk out in the street in front of a truck and get the fuck up and keep moping. But that's the downside to it. But that's just a downside to relationships. But that's why you try to find that balance of the person you with before you catch feelings, because feelings is some strong shit. The minute some people get hurt in a relationship, when it break, that's some hard shit to get the fuck over. And that's why some people don't fall in love and shit. Some people just find someone they cool with, they do what they do, and they just keep it as that. Just keep the emotions up out of it. What's up, my brother? Age Money.
What's good? What's up with it? What's good? What's up with it? The boxing section, my brother Reggie Owens. What's good?
What's good, man? Hey,
What's happening, bro?
listen, we got
I'm good. I see Reggie been cooking all day. I see the boxing section. He ready. You feel me? Go ahead. The boxing section. You ready to cook?
I gotta shout my boy out, man. My boy he got a new logo. You know what I'm saying? A new name. He dropped the zone. He dropped the Supreme. My nigga is now H Money Boxing. You feel what I'm saying? Shout out to my nigga H Money, man. Big ups to you, man, in your new endeavor of being a professional. You know what I'm saying? What do you have on the women in boxing as far as like a man's downfall when it comes to women? What you got on the situation?
Like you talking about the women fighters like Clarissa Shields?
Talking like Mike Tyson, Diego Corrales, Floyd Mayweather. We talking like on that aspect of women in boxing. We ain't talking like women fighters. We talking about like the pitfalls of a man with women. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you know how it is. You definitely got to stay focused as a fighter. You gotta stay focused on your craft. You can't be out here bullshitting with these hoes out here, man. I'm just being real because there's a lot of gold diggers. You know what I'm saying, that you use fighters like Mike Tyson. That's what Robin Givens did to him and did that man dirty. You know what I mean? Took a lot of money from Mike Tyson.
I think she helped Don King fuck him over, to be honest with you.
Man, yeah, Mike Tyson, they did him dirty. You know, they always want to keep the black man down. They did it with OJ, Mike Tyson. You feel me? It happens all the time, man.
For sure.
You see what a woman did that to OJ. You talking about a woman tearing down an athlete? See, you know what I'm saying? What happened to OJ Simpson? What about him? He was the greatest football player of all time at the time, bro. He was the greatest player ever, OJ Simpson.
Yeah.
Reggie will tell you, bro.
No, for sure. I agree fully about that situation. Okay, so Reg, back to you with this one, right? Do you think the best way to handle the women's situation is Floyd Mayweather having a plethora, a lineup, a team of females? How do you feel about that situation? Do you think that's too much on the mind as far as trying to keep all these girls happy, or is it like, what you think?
It's all, man. It's up to you at the end. Go ahead, Reggie. My bad.
No, go ahead.
Yeah, you feel me? It's all up to you as a man. You know, you got to decide what type of life you want to live. Either you want to be like Adrian Broner, or you want to be like a Floyd Mayweather, bro. Or do you want to be like a Andre Ward, bro? A family man. You know what I'm saying? Just like Reggie Owens. You know, Andre Ward no different than a Reggie Owens type of brother, man. Terrence Crawford the same way. You know what I'm saying? Just love their family. You know what I'm saying? Do the right thing. You know what I'm saying? That's what it's all about. Like Reggie been telling us. You ain't got to be out here, you know what I'm saying, H Money, calling niggas bitches and shit. Nah, just, you know what I'm saying? Just be yourself, bro. Just be cool. You know what I mean? And that's what it's all about, growth. We got to grow. AB got to grow, bro. I had to grow. I listened to Reggie. AB got to do the same thing, man.
For sure.
Well, my nigga DB on this topic too, man.
I've been trying to for the last hour, man. You know what I'm saying? He claimed I didn't say nothing about him on with Fred, and I'm telling you, I said he was on there. I said you was on there, and then I said Hustle Home was on there, and then I brought him up with the Don King situation. So I'm trying to, you know what I'm saying? DB, get your ass on here, man.
Get on here on this topic, DB, because DB be coming with some player shit too.
Yeah, man.
But my thing is with Floyd, I can live Floyd life, but some people, but then again, the benefit to Floyd life is
money.
He ain't looking to get married. Yeah. A lot of times you may just want to deal with a chick and be gone with, but he tricking. I wouldn't be with all that tricking shit like that. I ain't about to be buying the chicks a bunch of purses. I just want chicks. Like even how I used to be in my regular life, I can deal with a chick. We cool. We fuck around if we gonna fuck around. Or she come and kick it. We talk that shit, have conversations, fuck around if that's what we gonna do. But at the end of the day, you can go. But sometimes I think with what a dude wants, even with a motherfucker like how I be talking, my thing is sometimes you get burnt out of having too many chicks and you just want a chick you can settle down with who just ain't stressing you, who don't bring that level of bullshit, you're gonna always argue with a person because you're gonna disagree. She got a mind, she has a right to, but as long as it's disagreements over shit that has value, like of substance. Some people just want to argue just for the sake of argue because they want some. I don't know what the fuck some people argue about, but some that's ultimately the thing you want. But Andre Ward and what's the name of them better than me because they still got their full families attached. And you know, Andre Ward has a companion with his chick. You want a chick you can grow with. So that's the aspect of what I would want. I think everybody will want that one person to be with. I didn't did you shit in my young ages of fucking with chicks over here, there, and then as I start getting older, I'm looking like, damn, I can't stand none of these bitches. Like, but then I have a chick who be down for me and shit, and I'm trying to hide shit from her, but trying to not be committed to her because I'm doing other shit, and you fuck around, let that go. You let many good women go because you haven't picked up on that in your youth. But I did the right decisions by letting them go and they with other people and shit. But for the fact that it wouldn't been right for me to, it'd been selfish of me to be trying to be like, oh, you my girl, but then I'm doing other shit. And imagine she catch that shit. Like I say, breakups and getting caught over infidelity can ruin and wreck a person. You see a lot of these women mope about that shit when they've been hurt and shit. The same thing with dudes who've been hurt by women who cheat. But ultimately, that shit looks fun having all these bras, but at some point you get burnt out and you just want somebody to grow it. I see the way when I'm working with seniors, the ones who are lonely and they die lonely, they die miserable based on they hot girls when they're young and shit. A lot of these girls get hot, you know, they hot, they living their life, they having fun like they supposed to, but when the shit tore up and out the frame is when they want to settle down and shit. And a lot of times some older dudes don't want that shit, but ultimately you want to be with somebody rather than die alone. But me, I like being to myself. And then I like having to where I can fucking with a chick on some, all right, you can come by, you got your own spot, you go to where you at. So I'll be cool as I age. And if I'm still alone and type shit, I just want a chick I can fuck with on a weekly. You go back and do your own shit. We don't talk for a good month or two. And then we connect back on some other shit. That's just the way I am. I program myself to be that way.
For sure. Do you think the military has something to do with that?
Hell no, my environment. A lot of what shaped me ain't the military. It's been growing up around the cats I grew up in and observing the shit that I observed. I seen, you know, you see so many scandalous relationships. You see scandalous fucking relationships and you see what they do to people. So I always avoided that shit. And even when I start getting into where I'm fucking around and shit, I'm fucking with so many chicks who be in relationships and shit, doing the foulest fucking shit. And then they hide the fact they in relationships. And then when they get a call or some shit and I be on some G shit, I sit back because I be like, always like read the minds of motherfuckers. And I sit back and listen to these chicks on the call as they lie to their dudes. I'm like, boy, oh boy, these chicks fucked up. Like it's a fucked up game out here. Not saying all chicks like that, but to find the chick that's right for you, it's a hard fucking balancing act. But when I say a lot of chicks who've been on some foul shit in relationships, a lot of them, especially when I was in Long Beach, even my boys who used to be out there, man, they tell you some stories. All of us was going through that shit. Cause I used to have my spot used to be like the motherfucking was like the boom boom room and shit. Man, we had chicks running in and out that motherfucker. And then the homies would be bringing chicks out there, and the chicks be like, "Is this Reggie House and shit?" The niggas be laughing about that shit because it might have not been me. It could have been another one of the homies bring a chick over because that's always to be with the homies, man, to keep these motherfuckers out the streets. Get you a broad to chill with. You can come to the crib, shit. Go in one of the rooms and shit. Knock her down. Keep about the streets and shit. And we just, I just try to keep people player, but you deal with a lot of unfaithful people and shit, and it's like fuck all that shit.
Yeah. Hey, man, I'm gonna tell you the truth, bro. It might sound crazy, it might sound weird, but me and my girl, I had no plans of being with nobody at the time. Like I was just trying to have some fun, you know what I'm saying, trying to just kick it, you know what I'm saying? And one day, man, I had this dream, nigga, and it was crazy because like I was an old man, and I had my kids and my grandkids with me. I'm just sitting in my king's chair with my wife, You know what I'm saying? Right next to me. You know what I'm saying? And that's when I knew, bro. Like, I mean, like probably like a month or two after that, bro, I proposed to her, bro. Because my homeboy's like, man, you gonna be a damn fool if you lose this woman. And you know what I'm saying? It's one of them things where like, if you love me, let me go, or if you love me, commit. You know what I'm saying? And mine was, it was a little selfish, but I knew like I had to make the right decision and keep, you know what I'm saying? Because she was with a nigga when a nigga didn't have shit. You know what I'm saying? You know, when I had this raggedy ass 99 Ford Taurus, you know what I'm saying? She was there. So I knew like, damn, I gotta make this shit happen. You feel what I'm saying? Because I'd have been a damn fool to let her go. You know what I'm saying? Well, you know, we always got that one that got away. And I was like, I refuse to let this one get away. So I'm gonna do the grown man thing to do, and I'm gonna, you know what I mean, lock it down forever, which was the best decision I ever made because, you know, I got 4 beautiful kids, you know what I'm saying? So, you know, it worked out for me. I'm you know what I'm saying? It worked out for me. Reg, somebody wants to know where you was from.
No, I was talking about from South Central. But shit, when I lived in Long Beach, when I stayed in Snoop in them neighborhood, I stayed off of 20th and Pine. I say right in they shot, see Daz and shit walk through that motherfucker. And what was the other young pilot used to be over there? Young rapper named Young Pilot who Snoop and them was producing. So I say right in their neighborhood on the east side of Long Beach. But like I said, that's when I moved from South Central and I moved into to Long Beach. I was out there for like 7-8 years having a ball in that motherfucker, acting a fool.
Sure. Hey, so H Money. So I know this ain't the topic on hand, but I gotta get your opinion on the situation with Tia female Lopez.
Hey man, he got a lot of money. You know, I think Reggie was talking about it earlier. You know, he got a lot of money, man, and that's good for him. You know, you got to give the man credit. He got a big bag. You know what I'm saying? So right now he walking around like he the cash cow, and that's what they talking about. They saying Teofimo Lopez the man. That's what they saying right now. So Devin Haney want that smoke. You know, Drew Titan said it best. That's not the fight we want to see. We want to see Devin Haney versus Teofimo Lopez. We don't want to see him fight George Kambosos. So Teofimo Lopez, he going through a lot of shit right now, especially with his promoter, Bob Arum. He got a whole lot of shit going on with Bob Arum, bro. He about to have to sit out. He got to sit out, bro. Because guess what? He needs to buy himself out the contract. He would top rank for 3 more years, man. 3 more years, bro. You know what I'm saying? So he going through it with Bob Arum. But Teofimo Lopez, you know, the fight with Devin Haney is what I want to see that fight. Devin Haney is better than Teofimo Lopez, man. He's a better fighter. Devin Haney, he gonna beat Teofimo Lopez when they fight, man. And that's what I'm here to say. Devin Haney gonna beat him. He gonna beat him. That's what I'm gonna say.
Now, do you think Bob is going to allow this fight to materialize now that Teofimo kind of stepped outside of him to make this other fight happen to get this kind of money? Do you think Bob Arum folds, or do you think he says, all right, nah, nigga, you about to get that Mikey Garcia treatment?
Yeah, it might be ugly. That's what they talking about. You know, Bob Arum, he ain't going to let him just leave like that. Yeah, you don't leave Bob like that. Bob ain't playing no games, man. And he going to be in a barbershop. And it's a war between Teofimo Lopez and Bob Arum. Bob Arum is the godfather of boxing.
So now what do you, now with the DAZN situation with Bob Arum, what kind of effect do you think that's going to have on the boxing world?
Man, I mean, I feel like, you know, it's all about money at the end of the day. It's all about money. Teofimo Lopez, he got his money. I'm happy for Teofimo Lopez getting his money. I'm not a hater. You got to give the man his credit. You know what I'm saying? He earned it. He earned the money. So he got the money. Now, you know, what's going to be next? After he fight Kambosos, he going to beat the fuck out of Kambosos too. Teofimo Lopez going to knock out Kambosos. Watch. Kambosos not good, man. He's not a good fighter. Teofimo gonna kill that man. I'm telling you.
For sure, for sure. And so, Reg, what you think? What do you think is going to be the fallout of all of this, as far as with the zone and Top Rank?
It's no fallout. It ain't no fallout. You know what I'm saying? They've been doing business. You know, it's business as usual, bro. They gonna keep doing business.
Cause see, but Bob Arum is pissed off about him bidding on that fight. That's what I'm talking about as far as that goes. So that's what I'm saying. Like, Red, what you think is gonna be the fallout of Eddie Hearn bidding on the fight?
Bob Arum may try to bid on some of his fights. That's probably about the extent of it. But he probably cut back on the amount of business he does with Eddie Hearn. But I don't think they interfere with their business that much unless Eddie got a fighter that starts to break away from him. I mean, AJ ain't the fighter breaking away from him, so I don't think he's gonna really deal with too much of that purse bidding stuff that he's worried about. But I think it's an issue for Bob Arum to have an issue with anybody willing to bid on a fight. I think that's a slap in the face of these fighters, is being that your promoter is not willing to offer you or make any concessions to give you a little bit of an increase, but willing to take it to the purse bid in anticipation that no other promoter offers anything up on the fight. So that way he comes back into taking the fight and not paying you any more than what you were asking for. I think that's wrong for Bob Arum to be upset about that. And that should tell a lot to the fighter that this guy does not have the best of interests for me as far as pursuing to get me everything that I need in this fight. But now Bob Arum speaking about, the fact that this fight over in, what was he saying, over if it was in Australia, it's worth all this X amount of dollars and stuff. But that shows that there's a huge following by these UK fans. I was saying H Money earlier when I was talking about when we call that, I seen when you call that Tim Tszyu fight versus Jeff Horn, them Australian fans were into that shit. I had like 700 people on my main channel, and the backup channel I ran, I had like 200 and something. I seen H Money had like 3,000 of them cats in a live stream. They're huge supporter of their fight fans. And even that's why they talk about going over there. There's supposed to be 60,000 people or something. They're going to make all this money in the gate because they know the Australians are huge followers of their fighters. Bob can parlay that shit over here by running advertisements. If they could have got some dang pay-per-view money off of it, but Triller coming in here with a bigger name to run the pay-per-view event, and now adding, if they can get more of these UK people to buy in the subscriptions for that event, Thriller may end up coming out like a fat rat. So that's the thing Bob Arum wasn't willing to test. All Bob Arum is a cynic about everything. Oh, you can't run these pay-per-view fights. What these dudes are doing $300,000 and $400,000 pay-per-view events, Bob. What are you talking about? The price can come down. Maybe they'll sell more units of pay-per-view if it's at 50 rather than 75. But 400,000 is still good off of a $75 event per person. Then there's no gates. We're losing money. You can find ways to make money. On ESPN, they got big pockets. They done gave you a check to divvy some of that money up with these fighters. The thing is, he doesn't believe in paying people. And that's the problem with Bob Arum. And that's why people make these Jewish jokes about him. Jews are known for being tightwads. But that's my thoughts on that.
For sure. For sure. Yeah, I just, my thing is, man, you had the lowest offer. You know what I'm saying? And this was your fighter. You know what I'm saying? My thing was with Bob is like, dude, you got some type of nerve. You know what I'm saying? Like you got some type of pride. You know what I'm saying? To feel like, okay, fuck this fight. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna just do this and I'm gonna win it anyway because nobody else is gonna bid on it. You know what I'm saying? And two people bid on it, and the bids was way higher than what Bob even thought was gonna go down. And I'm glad he lost that fight because now that gives my dog Terrence Crawford a reason to do something different. Although I'm willing to bet my house that he's going to stay with Top Rank. But it gives him an opportunity. It gives him the thought to say, hey, I can go, because he's a way bigger name than Teofimo Lopez. So if he goes to Triller, there's no telling what kind of money they willing to pay him and Earl Spence. You know what I'm saying? That he'll probably take the 60-40 if Triller's involved. You know what I'm saying? Because the money that Triller will be set to make with an Errol Spence Terrence Crawford fight. But I don't think he's going to leave Top Rank, though. So, I mean, that's just kind of wishful thinking at this point. What you think, Edge Money?
Yeah, man. Like I said, man, I'm happy Teofimo Lopez got his money. You know, I just hope that he fights Devin Haney. That's all I want. Hopefully, we can make the Devin Haney fight happen next. Like Reggie Owens said, the Australian fans, bro, they got a lot of fans. When Terrence Crawford, he fought against what's the name? Joe Horn. I mean Jeff Horn. His name is Jeff Horn, right?
Yeah.
Jeff Horn. That was a good fight, man. Terrence Crawford made a lot of money. A lot of people watched that fight. You know what I mean? And guess what? Reggie know, because that day Tim Tszyu fought against Jeff Horn. Come on, man. So many people watched that fight, bro. So many people watched that fight, man. And that's what it's all about. You know, boxing is worldwide, bro. You got so many great fighters from different parts of the world. So, you know, you got to give it up for every fighter, man. That's what you got to do and make these big fights.
So do you think that Kamboza fight, with Australia being such a major player in the boxing game, do you think that fight goes above and beyond what we even think is going to happen?
It has a chance, bro. It might flop. It might flop. It might do good. It depends on who's on the undercard. You know what I'm saying? It depends on who's on the undercard. They building up Teofimo Lopez now, like Teofimo Lopez, that guy, man. Like he the next Canelo type of nigga. They hyping him up. They hyping him up. And guess what? He talking that shit. You know what I mean? I'm happy Devin Haney is in the conversation. You know what I'm saying? So we right there with him. Devin Haney gonna be at the fight. We chasing him. We chasing him down. And that's what it's all about, my nigga. Bill Haney he a real brother, man. He a real brother. Bill Haney want that smoke. He want to fight T.O. These other guys out here ducking T.O. You got Ryan Garcia ducking him. Tank Davis don't want to fight him. Devin Haney step up to the plate like, what's up with it? You know what I'm saying? We from California, bro. That's what it is. I told Bill Haney, my nigga. I told him that, what I just told you. So that's how we riding.
For sure. Now, I listen. I agree. If they got a nice undercard, bro, that's gonna be crazy. Highly anticipated said he really want to see that Shakur and Chris Colbert fight. That's another fight that I don't see happening. You know what I'm saying? Ever. It's just I'm hoping Triller gives me and gives us what we hope that it's about to give us. I mean, what it would give us. And I'm hoping that it causes the big fights to happen. I'm just not too sure. You know what I'm saying? I'm hopeful. But you know what I'm saying? I'm not sure. Reg, what you got on that as far as the major fights happening?
Man, the thing, like they always say, if these fighters want to fight, they can make the fight happen. These promoters work for them. Now you deal with fighters like it was put in. Who was that when they brought? I think it was Tyson Fury versus Wilder #1 when they brought all the legends up there. They had Holyfield. Who was that? Buster Douglas, Jerry Cooney, Lennox Lewis, and a few others, and they all spoke about their careers, of how they went about their fights. Most of these dudes spoke that they promoters chose all their fights. And that's a huge problem unless you got a promoter who went about making the good fights. Lennox Lewis, my favorite fighter of all times, stated he picked his fights. His promoters worked for him. When he seen it was somebody that was bad out there, he chose to fight him. Same thing I heard Roy Jones state. When he seen somebody who thought they was the baddest or called him out, that's who he went to go fight. These other fighters sit behind these promoters and let these promoters make decisions on their careers. You hear fighters constantly say when they ask who they want to fight next, well, I let my team decide this and decide that. So it shows you from there. A lot of these fighters ain't gonna pull the gun on where they want to go, because when fighters want to fight, they fight. A lot of these dudes want to, hopefully their promoters or managers make decisions to put them in fights that they're almost guaranteed from how they view it on paper to win. Now, the Chris Colbert versus who was that they put out there, that fight can happen when them two fighters want to fight. Same thing with Teofimo and Devin Haney. Is you see Devin Haney want to fight. When Teofimo wants to fight, that fight to get made. The promoter step in the way. You deal with some promoters who do step in the way. I think that's the case in Terrence Crawford. You got Bob Arum wanting to stand in the way of that because he can't control everything for this big fight right here. The thing is, if Tyson Fury was his, solely his fighter, he'll stand in the way of making Tyson Fury versus Wilder or AJ. He'll stand in the way of that until he can force AJ to sign over with him. But the good thing, Tyson Fury got Frank Warren over there. He's just doing some partnership American deal with Tyson Fury. But these dudes have to stop letting their promoters stand in the way. Bob Arum is a promoter standing in the way of Terrence Crawford solidifying himself. I think Terrence Crawford wants to fight, but I also think Bob Arum is the one who injected that BS crap that he shouldn't take the 40%. He should be sitting back there waiting for 50, and he's going to let this fight pass by him, listening to the advice of his promoter who's known for just fucking shit over. Terrence Crawford needs to get out that BS thought of him being a 50% fighter, which he really is based on who will win that fight. But when it comes to the draw and attraction, you got to give that to Errol Spence. You got to give that 10% concession to Errol Spence. You defeat Errol Spence, the tables flip. But that's my thoughts on that.
I want to reply to that real quick. I think Errol Spence is ducking Terrence Crawford. Terrence Crawford been chasing him down. He wants to fight him. Terrence Crawford. Wait, hold on, my brother, for real, because Terrence Crawford went to his last fight against Danny Garcia, and Terrence Crawford want that smoke with Errol Spence. And Errol Spence been getting some easy touches, man. He been getting a couple with Mikey Garcia, who's a featherweight, you know what I mean? And he couldn't finish him. And then Danny Garcia, who wasn't even a champion. Danny Garcia, he never beat nobody as a champion. So pretty much, let's make that fight happen with Errol Spence and Terrence Crawford. Bob Arum was in the barbershop. And guess what? Bob Arum said the same thing. He said that Errol Spence is ducking Terrence Crawford, which is true. You know what I mean? At the end of the day,
bro, you can't really say that though. There's no proof of Errol Spence ducking not near another nigga. You know what I'm saying? There's nobody that can say. Matter of fact, you know what? Hold on real quick, guys. Hold on real quick. Go ahead and cook real quick, H-Money. I'll be right back.
Yeah, because this man been ducking. The man been ducking fights. To be honest with you, Errol Spence, he ducked the rematch with Sean Porter. Sean Porter called him out to the rematch right after the fight. He said, rematch. And this dude, Errol Spence, went to say, I'm going to fight Danny Garcia, who doesn't even have a belt. You don't want to even fight a champion, bro. Guess what? The man don't want no smoke with Terrence Crawford. At the end of the day, Terrence Crawford is chasing him down. You know what I'm saying? And Errol Spence, he said, I'm going to fight Danny Garcia. I'm going to fight Sean Porter and fight all these other guys. But you don't want to say you want to fight Terrence Crawford. Now you want to fight Canelo. You want to go to Canelo's fight, but you don't want to go to Terrence Crawford fight. Just keep the same energy. That's all I got to say, bro. I'm tired of people hating on Terrence Crawford, bro. Hey, look, man, I'm stopping all of that. Terrence Crawford, one of the best fighters in the world, bro. And he going to get his respect when H-Money Boxing is around, bro. I'm riding for Terrence Crawford, bro. And that's what it is.
But I think Terrence Crawford needs to take that 40%. I don't think all that fight about being a 50-50 or equal going into the draw of that fight. He has to step to the side of that. And I think that what's the name? Errol Spence has fought a better category of fighter than Terrence Crawford. Terrence Crawford hasn't mixed in with any of these guys yet. And being with that fact, he has to take that. He's not a bigger draw than Errol Spence. He doesn't come from a bigger market than Errol Spence. They're both undefeated fighters, and to get that fight going, he has to take the 40%. What other way he's gonna make the money that he can generate fighting Errol Spence? He ain't gonna make it nowhere unless he can get the Pacquiao fight. And I doubt Pacquiao want to fight either one of them.
Pacquiao, he gonna fight Terrence Crawford. You know what I'm saying? Pacquiao, he gonna fight Terrence Crawford next, bro. Terrence Crawford gonna knock out Pacquiao, and then what is Errol Spence gonna be doing? When you talk about accomplishments, you talk about a 3-division world champion, undisputed, undefeated champion, #1 pound for pound, Terrence Crawford. more accolades than Earl Spence Jr. You know, I seen a lot of holes in Earl Spence Jr.'s game. You know, the man, you know, he doesn't live the life of a fighter. I believe he has rededicated himself to the sport of boxing, but he went the Adrian Broner route. You know what I'm saying? And it almost cost him his life. And I'm happy that he's doing better. But at the end of the day, Reggie Owens, Terrence Crawford lives the life of a true champion in and out the ring. And it's going to show in a fight. Now, Earl Spence, he has to accommodate for Terrence Crawford, undisputed #1 lineal championship. You know, that's what he is. He has proven more than Earl Spence in the sport of boxing. That's why he's #1 pound for pound. So with that being said, Earl Spence needs to take the 50-50 so he could get his biggest payday. That's his biggest payday if he take the 50-50 as well. Instead, he wants to talk about 70-30, saying he's a big fish when he's only a small fish in the pond. When you think about Manny Pacquiao, who's cash cow in the welterweight division, Earl Spence behind Manny Pacquiao, little fish Earl Spence. I thought it was the truth, turned out to be a lie. When I saw what Sean Porter did with him, you know what I mean? I had Sean Porter winning that fight. You know, Terrence Crawford, supreme. That's why, you know what I mean? When you talk about Terrence Crawford knocked out Gamboa. Let me finish. Terrence Crawford knocked out Gamboa when Gamboa was undefeated, pound for pound. You know what I'm saying? Guess what? Terrence Crawford then knocks out Amir Khan faster than anybody, destroyed him. You know what I mean? Remember, Terrence Crawford knocked out Kell Brook faster than Earl Spence did. Terrence Crawford knocked out undefeated Jeff Horn. Terrence Crawford is the guy, #1. And if Earl Spence, if he stopped running, stop trying to duck, we can make it happen next.
Is you finished or is you done? You know what I'm saying? Did you finish?
Come on, man. Who that? Chris? We talking about who Terrence Crawford beat. Who was he fighting? Chris Van Herden. Never heard of him. You know what I'm saying? Come on, bro. He fighting featherweights like Mikey Garcia. What's up with his resume? How he get away with that? And then they said he wanted to show his boxing. He said he wanted to show his boxing skills after the fight. But you were saying you was gonna knock him out leading up to the fight. Said you was gonna knock out Sean Porter, and he couldn't do that. That's a lie. Truth is a lie. It's a lie, bro.
Pass me the spatula in the pan. You know what I'm saying? I'm in the kitchen now.
You gotta get Crawford, bro. Get Crawford, bro.
All right, so let me tell you something. Me and Steven Nelson are really, really good friends. That's my man, 100 gram pasta pan. It's the whole 9. Me and him had this debate in the middle of LA. You hear me? And he picked Terrence Crawford, and of course, I picked Big EJ, the big fish. You know what I'm talking about? And so let me break something down to you, H Money. At the end of the day, boxing is a business. It's called prize fighting. You know what I'm saying? And Errol Spence is in charge of that prize. He is the cash cow at the 147-pound division. All right? Let's not forget this, though, my brother. Straight out of a car crash, fresh out of a window of a Ferrari, of the roof of a Ferrari, bounced back and fought a tough fighter in Danny Garcia. Don't act like Danny Garcia has ever been beat the fuck up how Errol Spence beat him the fuck up. All right? Let's not forget how he beat the shit out of Mikey Garcia. Ain't nobody ever did Mikey Garcia the way Errol Spence did Mikey Garcia. Okay, that's number 2. Number 3. Let me get to this matter of fact. Okay, Sean Porter only been down in his career twice in his career. Adrian Broner knocked him down, and of course, the big fish. You feel me? Big EJ, the truth. Errol Spence also made him touch that canvas. Okay, let me tell you this too, H Money. If you can tell me, when did Big EJ get his title? Where'd he go? Where'd he go to get it?
I don't know, probably fighting featherweights like he been doing, fighting little guys. You know what I'm saying? Cherry picking opponents. That's all I've been seeing from him. That's all I've been seeing.
I asked him a question, he didn't even answer. So let me get back to cooking. You know what I'm saying? Because, I don't really cook that much. But you know what I'm saying? When I get in the kitchen, I got to get down. You know what I'm saying? Mr. Philly cheesesteaks. You feel what I'm saying? So let me say this, though. He went to England. Hostile territory. Went to that man's hood. You know what I'm saying? Took his lunch money. You feel me? Took his girl and went back to the States. You feel me? Let me get that belt off your hands, my nigga. The same belt that Shawn Porter lost, Big EJ had to go overseas to get it done. Let's not forget this, though. The overall big picture, though, is when you look at the resumes and the big names are with my man, Big EJ. And I'm mad my hoodie is upstairs, but I was trying to get it, but I want to make sure I heard what you were saying. My hoodie is upstairs, though. I got the hoodie to match the shirt. But listen to this too, though, my brother, before you go. Now, Terrence Crawford is a hell of a fighter. I don't take nothing away from Terrence Crawford. That's my man, 100 grand. I spent the whole weekend with him. He is a cool dude. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, we talking about the best at 147. We talking about the unified champion at 147. We talking about the king of the division. When you say Errol Spence, you can say anybody's name and it's a fight. You know what I'm saying? When you hear Terrence Crawford, they always mention Errol Spence with him. You know what I'm saying? You can't. When you hear Errol Spence, you can get a Manny Pacquiao. You can get the big fight in Canelo Alvarez. When you hear Big EJ, you know what I'm saying? That's the names you hear. He's with the big fishes in the pond, baby. Quit horsing around, H Money. Let me tell you this too.
Hey man, stop with all them lies, bro. First of all, Earl Spence ain't doing none of that stuff you talking about. He ain't knocking nobody out. You say he beat the fuck out of Mikey, but Mikey never went down, and Mikey was a featherweight, so he ain't beating the fuck out of nobody. Shawn Porter actually beat the fuck out of him. You know what I'm saying? When you really think about it. So you can say he beat Kell Brook, who beat Shawn Porter, but when he fought Shawn Porter, what happened? He was lumped up, looked like Martin after Thomas Hearns, beat up on him. That's what happened to him, knotted up. So Earl Spence, I'm not impressed by Earl Spence. I'm not impressed. Wait. I'm not impressed by the horses. Let me say this. I'm not impressed by the horses. I'm not impressed by the horses. I ain't impressed by none of that. The ranch, fuck all of that, bro. Nah, nigga. We want that smoke with him. That's what it is. Nah, ain't none of that nice stuff. He ain't no star. Manny Pacquiao, he the big star in the welterweight division. He a little fish compared to Manny Pacquiao. And guess what? No. Manny Pacquiao hopped in the ring on Earl Spence after his fight with Mikey. And guess what? No. Guess what? Manny Pacquiao went and smoked with him. Word on the street is Earl Spence ducked out that fight. Well, he ducked Manny Pacquiao too. And he ducked Pacquiao.
What the horses got to do with it, man?
He ducked Pacquiao too. Listen, so I'm just letting you know the man been ducking a lot of fights.
Listen, the nigga ain't never ducked no smoke, baby. He listen, he walked up to Terrence Crawford. You feel me? And they had a conversation, nigga. Them two together. He said, you too little. He had that conversation, bro. Nobody even spoke of Terrence Crawford's name until Earl Spence said something, bro. Let's not forget that, bro. And let me tell you this. Before Terrence Crawford got to that division, he already had a plan. He said he was going to clean up his side of the street from the beginning. That's what he was going to do. He wanted them big fights early on. Quit playing, man.
He ducked Pacquiao too. Like I told you, Pacquiao hopped in the ring, and guess what? He ducked Pacquiao, so Pacquiao beat up on Thurman. And then Spence, and we all know Thurman been calling out Spence for years. So what's up with Spence? Why he never fought Thurman? That's what I want to know. Why he been ducking niggas? He ducked Thurman too on the low. He been ducking Thurman too before the injury. He ducked Thurman.
Fuck the bullshit. Hold on.
He ducked Thurman too.
Did you just bring Keith Thurman to my motherfucking doorstep?
Exactly. Unified champion. You just said unified champion, my nigga. Now what you mean? You just said unified champion. Fuck you talking about? Thurman was unified champion. He beat Shawn Porter before Earl Spence. And he beat Danny Garcia before Earl Spence. Keith Thurman, bro.
Earl Spence then. When Earl Spence had the belt, he had the belt.
Nah, Earl Spence ducked Thurman. That's what I'm telling you. He ducked Thurman too.
He didn't duck shit.
He been ducking niggas. He still, well, all right. So why he ain't fighting Shawn Porter rematch then? Tell me.
What I got a match for? Already beat.
Yeah, why he didn't fight Shawn Porter in the rematch?
Because it's strap season.
Nah, exactly. He ducked that rematch.
Y'all talking at the same time.
Yeah, exactly, bro. Nah, he ducked Shawn Porter in the rematch. So let's keep it real. Why he don't fight Shawn Porter next then?
How do you duck somebody you already beat?
Exactly. Why he don't fight Shawn Porter next then? Because Shawn Porter deserve a rematch.
Does he got a belt?
He deserve a rematch.
Does he have a belt?
Exactly. Mayweather gave Maidana a rematch.
Does Shawn Porter have a belt?
Nah, come on, bro. Exactly, bro. You getting cooked, bro. So why he ducked Shawn Porter rematch, bro? I want to ask Reggie Owens then. Maybe Reggie will tell me. Because guess what? Mayweather gave Maidana a rematch. Tyson Fury, you want Tyson Fury to give Wilder a rematch, but guess what? Shawn Porter can't get a rematch because Shawn Porter put hands on him.
Listen.
So what happened in that fight? Talk about what happened in the Shawn Porter fight.
We talk at the same time, bro.
Let him talk, H Money.
You know what I'm saying? Hold on, Big Reg, because he got me fucked up. You know what I'm saying? They got me fucked up. Hold on, check this out, bro. Let's be really clear about this, bro. After he beat Shawn Porter, he thought he was getting that Manny Pacquiao fight. Okay, what's a better fight? What brings more money? A rematch with Shawn Porter or a fight with Manny Pacquiao? Come on, quit horsing around, bro. Ain't no ducking involved. When you say duck, you don't mention Earl Spence' name when you say duck. He don't duck a motherfucking thing. And let me tell you,
he is ducking, bro. That nigga been ducking.
Listen, bro, 60-40 is a fair deal. When I'm doing all the hard work, when I'm doing all the heavy fucking lifting, when I'm the one doing all the pay-per-view buys.
Bro, what you think Crawford doing, bro? He ain't lifting shit. Crawford lifted more than him. 3 divisions. He lifted 3 divisions. And you talking about lifting? He was undisputed champion. The way Terrence Crawford was undisputed champion. And you try to lowball him, but you gave Mikey Garcia 50-50. And he never fought at welterweight. He wasn't even a champion. But you gave Mikey Garcia 50-50. But lowball the black man. And I thought we love each other. Okay, lowball the black man. All right, Reggie. That's what it's all about now. Lowball Terrence Crawford, #1, undisputed, right? Okay. That's how we gonna do it, kid. All right.
Hold on, bro. Hold on. Check this out, bro, because you tripping balls.
That's fucked up, bro.
Hey, you my man, 100 grand. I love you. You know you my man. You know we talk every day. Me and you talk on the gram on here. We talk. You my man, 100 grand, pots and pans, the whole 9. But nigga, you tripping. Listen, you tripping right now, brother. Because listen, you got to think about this, bro. The pay-per-views that Terrence Crawford did were ass cheeks, and that's my man, 100 grand. I love Terrence Crawford, but them pay-per-views were ass cheeks. Let's just be real.
So was Earl Spence pay-per-view numbers was ass cheeks, bro. He never did $1 million. What you talking about? He ain't no pay-per-view star, bro. His numbers going down at each fight. Each fight went down since Mikey Garcia. He went from 300,000. Nah, he went from 300,000 against Shawn Porter to fucking 200,000 against motherfucking Danny Garcia. So his numbers going. He ain't no pay-per-view. Canelo did $1 million. Why he ain't doing $1 million like Canelo is then?
He did 320 with Danny Garcia. What you talking about?
No, he didn't, bro.
Hank did too.
That's some BS, bro. You lying for his numbers too now, bro. He ain't a pay-per-view buy, bro. Stop it.
Bro, you tripping. And how many pay-per-views?
He ain't no Mayweather, I know that.
I don't know. Everybody Mayweather. But go ahead, Reg. We're gonna let you cook real quick because we've been hard.
Because you getting cooked though. Crawford way better. And Crawford gonna beat Earl Spence. And he ducking Crawford.
He ain't running motherfucking thing.
Crawford gonna knock him out.
Neither one of them is ducking neither one of them.
Reg,
Crawford gonna knock him out.
Reg, hold on real quick, Reg. Terrence Crawford is good. Terrence Crawford is a great fighter. Terrence Crawford is good. But compared to Earl Spence, man, Terrence Crawford ain't shit. Go ahead, Reg.
Crawford gonna knock his ass out.
Go ahead,
Reg. Man, with this Terrence Crawford, Earl Spence shit, I'm neutral on this one. I think both of them gonna get in there and do their shit. But when it comes to that money thing, I gotta go with 60-40 for Earl Spence. But in that fight, it's 50-50.
That's the same thing I'm saying, Reg. It's a 50-50 fight, but when it comes to the money, you got to give the money to Earl Spence. And my thing is this, bro. If you think he ducking, call his bluff and say, nigga, I'll take the 40. That's what you do. If he's ducking like you think he is, if you think he ducking, you say, all right, give me that 40. And let's see what's that. Now, if he bag out of the 40, then you got something. But for you to say he ducking when he gave a man a good offer,
He didn't send him no offer. What you mean a good? He never sent them nothing. He ain't never sent no term sheet. So how he gave him a good offer? It's all cap coming from Errol Spence, bro. I heard this story before, man. So he don't want to fight. He want to fight Ugas. I know he won another easy fight. He got about a lot of easy fights for Errol Spence, and he's still in the same weight class like Triple G. He don't want to move up in weight. He out here weight bullying niggas. And guess what? Skills wins fights. Crawford gonna dog his ass, bro. He gonna dog walk him, especially if he fight the way he did against Sean Porter. He gonna get knocked out. Cause guess what? His defense ain't good either. His power overrated, bro. Y'all lied about this nigga, man. I see flaws in him. Now hold up, bro. I see flaws in this nigga, and he been exposed by Sean Porter and ducked out that rematch, nigga. Fuck you mean? He ducked that fight, nigga. We out here. We out here,
bro. I took your belt. I took your
and run. Take the belt and run. Tyson Fury style, right? Do what Tyson Fury doing, right? Tyson Fury.
Tyson Fury's a cheater.
Don't come on, bro. He on the Tyson Fury, win the belt and run.
Listen,
okay.
Don't ever mention the great Errol Spence Jr. in the same breath.
Ducking rematches, okay.
Listen, as a
Tyson Fury, okay.
Listen, as a drug cheat, dope fiend. You know what I'm saying?
What about ducking rematches? Doing that.
Hold on. Can I get it in? Can I speak? Can I get it in real quick? Let me explain something to you. Deontay Wilder drugged Tyson Fury out the dope house and put money in his pocket. You feel what I'm saying? Errol Spence took Sean Porter out the Kentucky Fried Chicken. You feel me? And put him in a position of money. You know what I'm saying? So this is the thing about it. When you talking about big money, you know what I'm saying? When you talking about the money in boxing, you only think of one name. You know what I'm saying? At the 147-pound division, bro. Everybody knows this, bro. When you thinking about the money in boxing, everybody can fight. Anybody can fight Errol Spence, and it's a big money fight. That's just the facts of the matter, bro.
That's capping, bro. That's a whole lot of capping going on right there.
Oh, check this out. Because
man, come on, man. I know you like Errol Spence. It's cool, bro. I know you like him. I know it's your favorite fighter.
Hold on. I let you cook, and I didn't cut you off. Hold on real quick. Let me finish what I'm saying, though. Because if Terrence Crawford was as a big of a star as you say he is, they could have put that Kell Brook and Terrence Crawford on pay-per-view. That's all I'm saying. And they put it on TV. And if you put
bro, they just did. Hey, man, come on, bro. You capping for this man. I got you, man. You want me here? You capping.
Let me finish, though, brother. Let me finish. See, right now, you stepping on my rug with your shoes on, man. Hold up now. You know what I'm saying? Take your shoes
bro, you over here capping for Errol Spence, bro.
Ain't no cap, bro. Listen to this, bro. You know and I know. If Errol Spence was on regular TV, he does way more than 2 million views, bro. You know that. I know that. Rez know that. Everybody in the goddamn chat know that. You know what I'm saying? And listen, this ain't that. The same things I'm telling you is the same things I told his best friend, which is my homie, Steven Nelson. He'll tell you. I told him the same thing. When it comes to this paper, when it comes to this money, you know who making the money. You already know who the cash cow is, bro.
But you over here, he ain't no fucking cash cow. What you talking about? Manny Pacquiao getting more money than this man. Why you steadily just lying for this dude? I know you like this dude. That's cool, my nigga. That nigga ain't doing shit like what you saying, though, bro. Stop it. That nigga ain't doing none of that, bro. For real. All that stuff, he not doing none of that, bro, what you said. He's not. I understand you like him. That's good, bro.
He had 300 in the pandemic, bro. What are we saying?
Bro, stop it, bro. Stop it, bro. But yeah, Errol Spence got to step his game up, bro. That's what he needs to do. I wasn't impressed. I wasn't impressed in that Danny Garcia fight either. He's not the same fighter, bro. So stop hyping up this man like that. For real. Tell him to get into a real fight with a real champion, bro. Tell him to fight a champion next, bro. A world champion like Terrence Crawford, bro. That's all I care about. All these featherweights that he's fighting, bro. He's fighting fucking Ugas next. Come on, man. Danny Garcia. Danny ain't beat nobody, bro. Stop it. You're capping. That's what you're doing, bro.
Bro. So let's pause that real fast. But let's talk about this though, bro. Can you give me one person on Terrence Crawford resume that is better than anybody on Errol Spence resume?
Who? What fight are you talking about? The best win on Earl Spence' resume is fucking Kell Brook, and Terrence Crawford knocked him out. Who's the best win on Earl Spence' resume?
He beat an old Kell Brook.
Who the best win on his resume on Earl Spence' resume? No, who the fuck is his best win since you want to talk about it, bro? Who's his best win on his resume, Earl Spence?
Bro, you can go with Sean Porter.
Sean Porter, Kell Brook beat Sean Porter. Man, what the fuck you talking about?
Bro,
what you mean? Kell Brook beat Sean Porter, bro. Hey, and Terrence Crawford knocked out Kell Brook.
I got a question.
Stop it. Keith Thurman beat Sean Porter first. Keith Thurman beat him better. What you mean?
Hold on, bro.
Are you tripping?
Hold on, bro.
Stop it, bro. You over here capping for Earl Spence, bro. Stop it, bro.
Tripping, bro.
Hey, listen, man. Your boy's scared to fight Terrence Crawford. Take the 50-50. He gonna get knocked out. And you want to be a businessman all of a sudden when it come to Terrence Crawford, 60-40, he doing the same shit Teofimo Lopez was doing. So stop it, bro. Earl Spence out here ducking like Teofimo Lopez is. He don't want no smoke, bro. Fuck all that. He don't want no smoke, bro. Listen, Earl Spence out here ducking, bro. Tell him to do the rematch with Sean Porter. Mayweather gave Maidana a rematch, but you said no rematches. Run that shit back then. If you think you beat me, nah, stop that. Andre Ward gave Kovalev a rematch, and you out here capping for Earl Spence because he don't want to give Sean Porter a rematch because Porter beat his ass, and Wilder said it too. So stop it, bro. Capping for this man. Get a man a rematch, bro. That's all I want to say. Nah, because he want to fight Danny Garcia, who don't have a belt. And you capping like he beat a killer. Who did Danny Garcia beat at welterweight? Who did Danny Garcia beat at welterweight then? Since he was so good. That's such a great win.
H-Money. H-Money, you gonna let him talk? Shit.
Nah, I've been hearing the capping, bro. Hey, I had enough of the capping, bro.
Listen, bro. Listen. First of all, hold on, bro. Cause right now, you gotta respect the platform. God damn it.
Hey, bro, I say what I want to say everywhere I go, bro. That's just how I roll. Nah, it's free smoke with me. It's been free smoke with me. I say what I want to say, bro.
But listen, you gotta let me say something.
But you gotta go back and forth, H-Money.
Yeah, I got you, but it's cool. Now I'm gonna let him go. Now, this your play. You want to flex like this your platform? It's good, bro. You can have your. You told me to hop on, so it's cool, bro. I'm gonna say whatever the fuck I want to say though. That's just how I roll. You feel me?
You gotta let nigga talk.
Yeah. Hey, much love though. Bro. But that's just how I roll. You feel me? Go back to doing your thing, bro. But you got cooked though. Cooked you real good. Cook you again. Anytime. Anytime I'm gonna cook you. Anytime, bro. Hey, you know what it is. Oh God, my nigga.
Hey, when you H-Money come back, I didn't say get off. This nigga crazy. I didn't say get off, nigga.
I'm back here rolling, man. Y'all niggas crazy, man. Oh shit.
That's my nigga though, for real. Like 100%. That's my guy. Hey, on everything. I don't know why he got off. I didn't tell nigga to get off. But yeah, that's my nigga 100% though, bro. I done probably woke my neighbors up all this yelling we was doing. Yeah, that's my guy though, 100%. He know that. He know that's my nigga for real. Yeah, but he tripping though. He tripping about this Earl Spence thing, bro. He tripping hard. 60-40 is a fair deal. You know what I'm saying? It's fair. So what you think, Reg?
No, the same thing I've been saying. It got to be 60-40, man. I don't think that's a rip-off offer. I think Terrence Crawford just needs to wake up to take it, man. It's a big payday for both fighters, and it's something they need for their legacy. They need not just for their legacy. The sport needs to see both of these dudes fight each other, and especially in this era, they need to have their monumental fight in the prime of their careers at this point. So to avoid that and run away from it it'll be stupid, man. It'll be one of the biggest regrets these dudes ever had to not step in the ring to fight each other. To where they get old and never had these conversations. It's just to be a bunch of regret that they avoided stepping in the ring together.
Yeah, man. I'm just saying, you can't say the man is ducking though. You know what I'm saying? That can't be said about Earl Spence, bro, because he's done everything but duck. You know what I'm saying? First off a car accident, I fight Danny Garcia. You know You know what I'm saying? He's never been stopped. He's never looked that bad in a fight. And I did him the worst he's ever been done, fresh off a car accident. I don't know where people keep saying he don't look the same. Bro, I've been out the ring for a year, fresh off a car accident, bro. Let me get my bearings back. You know what I'm saying? That's all I'm saying.
No, people saying he didn't look right. It's tripping. Ain't nobody ever seen Danny Garcia get controlled like that in a fight. He controlled the hell out of Danny Garcia throughout that fight. And like I stated, when I was watching the fight, I didn't think Earl was going to be the same. And he proved that he was the same. He took every punch that Danny Garcia could land on him. It had no effect. He walked through it. I think psychologically that messed Danny Garcia up. When he landed the big punches on him and the dude didn't get buzzed from it, he took the shots and came forward at him and start hitting him with a jab that Danny Garcia was reacting to. I was like, this dude was right when he said them doctors said nothing was wrong with him. So it's just gonna get better going forward. But let's just say this. To hell with it. Give Terrence Crawford a 50%. Make the fight happen, Earl. Give him the 50%. Since he wants to hold out like that, test the dude out, take the 50%, run the rematch. Whoever wins the rematch, 60-40. Forget it. Take the 60-40 shit off the table because this fight needs to happen. Run it to a network. Well, both of the networks are going to fight over it. So ESPN, them going to get their share of it. Make it a 50-50 fight. Second fight, 60-40. No argument on that.
Yeah, but this is the thing, right? All the heavy lifting is being done by Errol Spence. You know what I'm saying? And that's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying to H Money. You can say what you want, but at the end of the day, Mikey Garcia, I don't give a fuck what nobody talking about. Because if he'd have went up there and beat Errol Spence, well, nobody said, oh, he came from 140. They just said he got it. You know what I'm saying? Sean Porter. I don't give a fuck what he talking about, nigga, because he dropped the nigga. So, and that right there, we knew he lost. He won the fight. All right. Then he fought Danny Garcia fresh off a car crash, bro. Let's just keep it a buck. And the thing about it was Sean Porter wasn't supposed to be the fight. It was supposed to be Manny Pacquiao. So him saying he ducked Manny Pacquiao was crazy because he didn't duck him. He was trying to fight Manny Pacquiao. He's still trying to fight Manny Pacquiao. And Manny Pacquiao ain't trying to do the fighting. Go ahead, Rich.
Manny Pacquiao got in the ring, just showed us how he ducked. So we know what's the deal. Shit, Manny Pacquiao, to be honest, ducked Floyd Mayweather for a number of years because he didn't want to take the needle out of his damn arm that he was never caught with. But it's just people being on the fandom type things. That's why I didn't engage it with it because I like both fighters. I ain't got no favorite fighter in boxing. I like all these fighters who get in here and do their things. That's what draws me to where I don't mind when I'm critical of them. I'm critical of them because I like the sport more than I like the fighters. But for me to like the sport, it means I gotta like some of these damn fighters. But to get things from not happening and being the great regrets, because you hear a lot of people of past eras who speak of the fights they didn't get to get because egos got in the way. F that 50-50 first fight. They're going to have to rematch each other. They can't leave it on the table of just having one fight between those two. Because if it's a good fight, someone get knocked out by chance, it goes a full 12 rounds, they're going to want to get back up in there, and their fans are going to want to see that shit again. And that'll lead to more hyping into it. With what Teofimo did, it better inspire these dudes. And it better inspire their promoters to get behind it. I already know Al Heyman to get behind it because he's striking gold when it comes to being able to put on the bigger number of events. It's just getting Bob Arum on board. So Earl Spence, pull his card. Put the card out there 50-50 and see if Crawford's going to take it. If he doesn't take it, then that's going to be what really exposes Terrence Crawford on whether or not he really wants to fight or if it's Bob Arum standing in the way of it. But that's my thoughts on it.
No, I mean, I'm with that 100%. But also, if you Terrence Crawford, call EJ out on it. If you think that he capping about the 60-40, then pull up and say something about it. You know what I'm saying? That's just the facts of the matter.
Yeah, I got nothing else on this one. They just got to fight.
Yeah, man. Let's get back to tonight's topic, though. Yeah, man. Um, I think really what needs to happen in boxing, bro, they need a union because I think a lot of these dudes need therapy, bro. For real. Like a lot of these cats need therapy. You know what I'm saying? And I think that would help a lot with the domestic violence part of it all. And I think it'll help um, with these rape allegations and all that stuff, man, because they'll be more sober minded, bro. Like a lot of times these cats ain't sober, man. They high and they drunk, and you know what I'm saying? And they saying like what's mine is mine type of shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but a person got to be willing to accept it because you can't force them into rehab. They have to accept that they have an issue and that they want help with it. That's just like Ron Artest always speaks about it. It took years for him to accept that, and especially with where we come from in our culture, we look down upon people who seek assistance for mental health disorders. When it's clear and apparent that someone's dealing with it, some people run and hide and act as if everything's okay. But to cope with it, you see them turning to different drugs. I don't care if it's weed or whatnot. Some people turn it in to deal with whatever's plaguing their damn minds. They turn to a bottle to deal with what's ever plaguing their mind rather than talking to someone. That's why communication is important, man. Just being able to speak to someone. I think that's the thing that makes where people turn to a psychologist is someone who just speaking to someone, getting out those thoughts, releasing that shit from themselves. But yeah, most definitely people should seek it and seek the appropriate guidance from someone.
For sure, for sure. LT said, "What you think about Estrada versus Chocolatito?" I don't. I don't. What do you got, Reg?
That I don't know. I had to follow him closer, man. I don't know where Chocolatito at. He looked okay in that last fight. He stopped the dude, but I don't know if he gonna do that against Estrada. But then again, does Estrada underestimate Chocolatito and get knocked? Because Chocolatito can still punch. But that's a hard one for me, man.
Yeah, I'm not interested. I'm just keeping it a band. So Jamel Charlo though, they gonna give him the undisputed bout. So that's kind of good, right? The way it worked out.
Oh, with Castano, yeah. Because Castano won it, and that's what you need from people who grab belts, man.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. So Reg, if you had to say top three demise by women, what's the three you picking? And why?
What in sports?
No, we just talking about boxing right now. As far as the topic, demise and the boxer's demise of women, what's the three you got, and why?
Shit, really just Tyson. I think she's the only one that tried to ruin him. The other ones was fools dealing with their insecurity. I don't think those women ruined like Valero. He ruined himself by being a jealous clown. Um, uh, who else? Manzone. He another one. He's controlling type. I think Tyson dealing with Robin Givens is the only one I can think of where she tried to ruin him. Damn, who else been caught up in some shit? Holyfield, can you blame the women for his mistakes, or was it his own doing? He couldn't control his damn self.
Yeah.
I'm gonna just say Tyson. Tyson, the only one I can think of. But when you add other sports, I can think of other sports stars. But Tyson definitely the one.
Yeah, I mean, he's pretty much the one, man. But I mean, what do you know? Do you know like the main thing with Diego Corrales in his situation?
He was probably one of these other controlling fools. I know he was supposedly hitting on his wife, or they probably got into an incident, And who knows, man? Because you also deal with when you deal with women that make those claims of a person did this and that to them. Sometimes you got to look deeper into it because there's a lot of women who will lie about a dude putting hands on them. A lot of times, a lot of the dudes probably didn't even raise their hands at her, probably just pushed her back, and a woman knows how to play the law to really get a dude in trouble. So some of these situations you got to really look into. Marcus Brown, another dude, I forgot somebody put him in there earlier, who, but his didn't lead to a demise. It did lead from being out the ring, but that's of his own doing. So Tyson, the only one I can think of, man. But Corrales, I think it was him. Corrales was dealing with a lot of shit. I think Corrales had some mental issues going into the sport as well, and probably could have been, who knows how he began to see his wife while they together, and he dealing with all type of stuff going on. These fighters go through a lot of stuff, and these wives go through it when they try to be dedicated to these folks. But yeah, I think he was dealing with something.
Okay, so basically we just saying so it's just Tyson was the end all be all for.
Yeah, Robin Givens foul ass. That shit was foul, man.
She's still foul. Still foul. Well, look, man, we've been on for almost 2 hours, man. Appreciate y'all for holding it down, man, and coming through and engaging in the chat and chopping it up with us, man, and going back and forth, man, and being a part of the night. Another great episode, man, with my dog Reg. So Reg, man, tell them where to find you at, of course.
Oh, yes, sir, man. Y'all can find me over on Boxing Conversations with Reggie Owens, man. I'll catch you guys on the next one.
For sure, man. Like I always say, man, continue to keep your foot on these niggas' necks. Another one like the other one. Same super heated. And make sure you put your shoes on before you leave the crib, man. Appreciate you, dog. We'll holler.